fuck? One Piece chapter 1019. Wow. 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 Yamato has a devil fruit. I did not see that coming, but in a way that kind of made sense though, because it's like, well, you got the handcuffs and that's a good reason to stay on the island, but before you got the handcuffs put on you, why didn't you just try and set sail, and why didn't you just like try and swim away or something? Like, it kind of makes sense in hindsight. Like, you got this super big badass battle that's taking place with Franky, and the way that that fight just wrapped up with that double spread, and then it transitions over to the reveal with Yamato. It was one of those things where I'm like, oh, this is gonna be good, but a devil fruit for Yamato. That threw me off in a good way, in a very good way. So backing things up a little bit, now that I've got my shock out of the way, One Piece chapter 1019, have to say, I like how we open things up with Sanji, and we get a very brief look at Sanji's battle against Queen, and Queen's shooting out all these laser beams back and forth over and over again. Sanji's like, man, you know, Franky would probably love to see this technology. And it's one of those things where you're probably going to see that technology incorporated into Franky as we move closer and closer towards the end of One Piece. I don't think Oda drops that in there by chance, but when you also transition over to Zoro and Zoro's being tended to, Zoro is saying, like, take the bandages off of me before you do this injection. We're getting the build up. Basically, Zoro, Alpha number 2, and Luffy, Alpha number 1, are in a situation where their return to battle is slowly being presented to us, because Zoro is itching to get back into the battlefield. You have Luffy. Luffy's on the ship. Luffy is ready to go back into battle. He just needs his meat. So once Luffy recovers his strength, it's going to be round 2 for Luffy. You're going to have Yamato wear down Kaidou a little bit. So I like what you're seeing here. And I like how after we get the pop-in shots with Luffy and with Zoro, it transitions over to the main crux of the battle where you got Franky's fight. And when Franky's fighting, it's always something, in my opinion, that's pretty damn fun. I like how Franky, as the fights are going on, Franky is just using different attacks as a way to try and see what can actually stick. And when you have those moments where Franky sees the sword and it ends up spinning around, this man's like, oh, wow, that's so freaking awesome right there. Like, the dude is just like in a situation where you can tell he wants to take notes and ask questions and look for upgrades. And you just get that wacky moment right there. And that's how I knew this was going to be a very fun fight. And I gotta say, just in the way that the art is drawn here, I like the different expressions that we're seeing as the battle is raging on. Like, Oda, in terms of the expressions on this, I like how much fun it looks like he had when he was drawing this chapter. Like, you got this really cool scene where you got the spinning attacks. You got Franky using his blade. He's trying to block the attack. And you got this really beautiful impact shot where after quite a few people ended up getting sliced up, Franky blocks the attack, and you just have the speed lines going all around them. And you see it's Franky, because of how he's angled towards the bottom of the panel, it looks like he's being pushed in towards the center of the spine. I like that right there. That's a very good usage of paneling to tell the story. And I like how Franky, even though he's freaking out saying, what kind of mobility is that? I wasn't expecting the air battle. I like how Franky right now genuinely looks interested. And what I also like here is how Franky immediately goes onto the defensive, because he's like, okay, you know, I can't necessarily match him in attack force when he's using this. So let me switch to defensive. And when Franky gets charged again, Franky immediately realizes, okay, this ain't gonna be good. My shoulder-loaded rockets are about to get set off. And Franky at this point just begins trying his best to see what can work. And we get this beautiful shot where Franky just suplexes. And as he tries that, he tries to follow it up with another attack. But the problem that we run into is that as Franky tries the attack, his sword ends up getting sliced. And before Franky can do anything else, he takes off, he starts running. He says he's gonna go for his ultimate last result. He shoots off his general cannon. He lands a pretty good attack. But the problem that you're running into is that that's not enough to finish things off. And we get this beautiful double page spread where It looks like Franky's about to be done in. However, Franky takes a negative and he's able to turn it around because he goes into the Franky radical beam. And Franky, the way that that's drawn, the man, when he shoots off that blast, again, it's just a great usage of paneling because Franky's body's being pushed down towards the center of the page, right into the spine of the double page spread. Very, very good usage of paneling on that one. And I like how afterwards, that's when we transition over to the Yamato aspect. And I gotta say, like, seeing Yamato transform like that, that really, really, really hit home for me because it kind of makes sense. Like, Kaidou, the leader of the Beast Pirates, of course, his daughter would have a devil fruit. It would make sense. It's just something that was inevitable. But when I first saw Yamato transform, my first thought when I saw the form, I said, well, wait a second, is this a slung transformation or something? And then I was like, oh shit, that is Yamato, because I saw the club that was in there and I'm like, oh shit, okay, so Yamato has a devil fruit. And I was like, okay, so now this is about to start ramping up. And what I like here is that Yamato, through the course of the battle, is being recognized by Kaidou. Kaidou says, I recognize your worth as a soldier. And what I like here is that Yamato pushes back when Kaidou says, I never intended for you to eat that devil fruit. Yamato just says, I was hungry. I didn't know what would happen afterwards. I wanted to set sail out to sea, but suddenly I couldn't swim anymore. I've tried to kill you more times I can count, and you always beat me down, but it made me stronger. Those cuffs weren't the only thing keeping me here on the island. If I don't fight for the sake of this country, I can't call myself Odin. What I like about that statement right there is that it just speaks to the resolve that if she is really going to be Odin, she's got to do the one thing Odin couldn't do. She's got to actually defeat Kaidou. And I like how she says every time that she was beaten down, it just made her stronger. It just speaks to that resiliency, and it speaks to what I said a few chapter reviews back, that we're in that transition phase to where children are becoming adults in the New World portion of the One Piece story. So I like that right there. We're seeing, just as Luffy broke those shackles off of her, now we're seeing Yamato break herself away from Kaidou. I like this right here, man. This was a good chapter, man. I'm kind of shocked, though, so I want to know from you guys. My chapter question is, did you think that Yamato had a devil fruit? And if so, what was the foreshadowing that you saw? Because I missed it. I totally missed it, but in hindsight, it clicked. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. So always, guys, like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.